text-to-speech and enumeration in Español. Número uno.
Invasion problems.
The U.S. has become a dumping ground for everybody else's problems. Thank you. It's true. And these are the best and the finest. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. And it only makes common sense. It only makes common sense. They're sending us not the right people. It's coming from more than Mexico. It's coming from all over South and Latin America, and it's coming probably from the Middle East. But we don't know, because we have no protection and we have no competence. We don't know what's happening. And it's got to stop. And it's got to stop fast. I will immediately terminate President Obama's illegal executive order on immigration. Immediately. I would build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me, believe me. And I'll build them very inexpensively. I will build a great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall.
Trump made some progress on the wall and slowing the invasions down. However, in the process, he met massive resistance in the form of impeachment attempts and bio-invasions in the form of COVID-19, which created an opportunity for more dirty riots and confusion, orchestrated by the dirty left, which has consumed the Demo-Rat Party, which is supported by dirty donors, which is promoted and protected by the dirty media. It's a very dirty swamp, which must be drained.
Numero dos.
$24 trillion. We will be there soon. That's when we become Greece. That's when we become a country that's unsalvageable. And we're going to be there very soon. We're at 18 trillion now. We're soon going to be at 20 trillion. According to the economists, who I'm not big believers in, but nevertheless, this is what they're saying, that 24 trillion, we're very close. That's the point of no return. $24 trillion. We will be there soon. That's when we become Greece.
Welcome to Greece, suckers. Trump blew around $5 trillion on defense spending, COVID and other nonsense. Had the borders been adequately controlled, as he had promised, and had he pursued conservative spending as he had promised, we would not be at 27 trillion in federal debt, and you don't even want to know about the unfunded liabilities.
Numero tres.
We have a disaster called the big lie, Obamacare. Obamacare. Yesterday it came out that costs are going for people up 29, 39, 49, and even 55%. And deductibles are through the roof. You have to get hit by a tractor, literally a tractor, to use it. Because the deductibles are so high, it's virtually useless. It is a disaster.
Obamacare was just another socialist ploy funded by insurance company scammers, enacted by parasitic puppet scum like Obama and Biden.
Numero cuatro.
We've got nothing. We got Social Security that's going to be destroyed if somebody like me doesn't bring money into the country. All these other people want to cut the hell out of it. I'm not going to cut it at all. I'm going to bring money in, and we're going to save it.
Trump is a very nice guy, but he is no libertarian genius, as previous genius videos on this genius channel have explained. Social Security is just another insane socialist scam that should be eliminated with privatization. The yields are low to the participants' slaves and costs are high. It could be easily replaced with dynamic voluntary free market programs. It's just another pathetic joke of a program, where people are fleeced their entire adult working lives and get little in return.
Numero cinco.
Nobody would be tougher on ISIS than Donald Trump. Nobody. I will find within our military, I will find the General Patton, or I will find General MacArthur. I will find the right guy. I will find the guy that's going to take that military and make it really work. Nobody will be pushing us around. I will stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons, and we won't be using a man like Secretary Kerry that has absolutely no concept of negotiation, who's making a horrible and laughable deal, who's just being tapped along as they make weapons right now, and then goes into a bicycle race at 72 years old and falls and breaks his leg. I won't be doing that. And I promise I will never be in a bicycle race, that I can tell you.
Trump blew hundreds of billions on military expenses with the Democrats' support, and of course for him to get that support he had to yield to their wasteful programs as well. All the while our borders were not being adequately protected from invasions such as what occurred with the Chinese invasions of the COVID virus nightmare. Trump seems like a nice guy who is basically emulating the Reagan approach toward military spending, which left a large debt behind when Reagan left. Trump has learned from the Reagan failure, which was amnesty, and he had been working all along to reverse the Reagan amnesty failure, and there are certainly advantages to updated security. Unfortunately, Trump is using conventional approaches to security. He has repeatedly mentioned that his aims are to get the USA out of wars and entanglements. Most of the budget, as you can see on the pie chart, is wasted on various welfare programs, much of which is consumed by illegal aliens.
Numero says.
Fully support and back up the Second Amendment.
Self-defense is an inalienable right. Why that is even being discussed is just another example of how dumbed down this country has become. The dumber it is, the more socialist control will grow. This is why immigrant invasions are supported. Socialists need a continuous supply of dumb people to support their dumb programs and ideas.
Numero siete.
And they're tired of spending more money on education than any nation in the world per capita. Than any nation in the world. And we're 26th in the world. 25 countries are better than us at education. And some of them are like third world countries. But we're becoming a third world country because of our infrastructure, our airports, our roads, everything.
Public education in the form of K-12 schools, community, state colleges, and universities are yet another example of government invasions and overreach. They should all be privatized and fully competitive, which will encourage greater economy and quality of products and services. Just another scam promoted by unions like the NEA, which fleeces taxpayers to protect incompetent, overpaid babysitter losers from the competition that would replace them.
Numero ocho.
Our gross domestic product, a sign of strength, right? But not for us. It was below zero. Who ever heard of this? It's never below zero. Our labor participation rate was the worst since 1978. But think of it, GDP below zero. Horrible labor participation rate. And our real unemployment is anywhere from 18 to 20%.
The USA economy was dragged down by the disorientation of the onslaught of Obama scams and socialist maneuvers such as Obamacare and open borders maneuvers as a way to supply more slaves to feed a sick system dependent upon compliant morons.
Numero nueve.
If you can't make a good deal with a politician, then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not very good. And that's what we have representing us. They will never make America great again. They don't even have a chance. They're controlled fully. They're controlled fully by the lobbyists, by the donors, and by the special interests, fully.
This is the kind of trash Trump is talking about.
Friends, I have some breaking news for you about the presidential proclamation that's preventing thousands of people from coming to America, including foreign workers and your family. Guys, in this one, I have good news to share with you. We have quite a bit of tech giants, guys. We're talking Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and so many others who have come together to now fight against this proclamation.
But in all seriousness, it was, so many people were obviously outraged by this order, as in I myself being an immigrant and a refugee. And probably worth noting, right? People are really excited about that point. I came here to the U.S. at age 6 with my family from the Soviet Union, which was at that time, the greatest enemy the U.S. had. Maybe it still isn't so far. It was a dire period of the Cold War, and some of you probably remember it, and it was under threat of nuclear annihilation. And yet, even then, the U.S. had the courage to take me and my family in as refugees. And I'd say the risks of, at the time, letting in these foreigners from, land that might spy on you, learn the nuclear secrets on the back, and there were many cases of espionage. Those risks are far greater than the terrorism risks we face today. And nevertheless, this country was brave and welcoming, and I wouldn't be where I am today or have any kind of the life that I have today if this was not a brave country that really stood out and spoke for liberty.
Apparently Bryn, the refugee Google founder, doesn't give a shit about all the stress, strain, and misery invasions of immigrants on America, many of which are illegal, has on the country that treated him so well. It could be that he's ignorant about the subject, because every time you Google anything on that bloated crappy search engine of his, all you get is a flood of propaganda, and anyone talking about it gets shadow banned or blocked completely and then slandered with goofy names like racist and white supremacist, all of which seem like old commie tactics from his homeland communist Russia. Who knows, maybe he thinks he's Stalin or Lenin, or maybe John Lennon. Imagine all the people living in a big third world globalist shithole. Oh boy. Here's a pic of the YouTube CEO schmoozing with Chunk, another ardent Biden supporter. Around the same time she dumped Alex Jones and Stefan Molyneux. Oh my god, does that lady have taste?
Calling it. It's official. Donald Trump will lose. Joe Biden will win.
Will you please stand up and put your hands on your hips with wrists upwards? Now, let's all just laugh.
I don't know if you feel the way that I do, but I feel like we're living in an alternate universe here. That something has happened to the United States of America, and we're all grasping and trying to hold on to our democracy. I see what's going on in Texas. The vote is being repressed. This is evil. This is wrong. The Republicans have to stop. I'm terrified. Listen to me, Republicans, listen. You are the people in history they warned us about. They warned us about people like you. Pay attention. We're losing our democracy. Wake up. Wake up.
Not cool. Totally lame. 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 Weak.
Hashtag white silence. We are watching you. Like, get fucked. 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 Get fucked.
Numero 10. More people are on the Trump train. The dirty swamp has been shocked into greater enforcement. The dirty media has expanded their lunacy. And there are more crazy stunts being played out, such as riots. Fake organizations such as Black Lives Matter. Stunts using autistic teenagers screaming global warming hoaxes while promoting open borders invasions.
How dare you!
Impeachment coups. And the dirty media is still playing the "he can't win" song. My guess is that Trump wins in a range of 62 to 67%. I don't have a specific number at this point because there is a lot of chaos going on with the Demo-rats attempting all kinds of filthy maneuvers. On the other hand, there have been many defections and the crowds and energy for the Trump ticket has been growing, all while the dirty media continue to make fools of themselves.
Hey, I have lobbyists, I have to tell you. I have lobbyists that can produce anything for me. They're great. But you know what? It won't happen. It won't happen. Because we have to stop doing things for some people, but for this country, it's destroying our country. We have to stop, and it has to stop now.
How dare you!
Now, how do you feel? Where was you when you were laughing? What is you now?